Hey, what's good? What's good? So, in this quick video, what I want to do is dive into this idea of a lead magnet, right? Because so many people are teaching lead magnets in a way that is disrupting your entire system, and it's not serving you in the way that you think it is, especially if you are a coach, a service provider, a creator, right? A solopreneur type person. This is not really relevant if you run a SaaS or something like that, or you're in e-commerce or anything like that. This is mainly for coaches and creators and course creators, service providers, right? So if you're to scroll like Facebook ads or LinkedIn and all these different places, right? What we typically see is that people are telling us to run certain sales funnels. And one of the most common sales funnels to build your email list is a lead magnet funnel. And what that really means is you have an opt-in page, you then have your thank you page, and you have, how many emails. Could be 5, could be 10, could be 50, whatever it is. But the main purpose of this is to get as many people on your email list. And then because you have all of these people, some of them are going to buy. All right. Now that makes sense, right? If you get 1,000 opt ins and you send them through pretty good emails, some of them are probably going to buy, especially if it's a low ticket product, right? Which is great, amazing, fantastic. But that is short term thinking. And everything I do here at Rapid Marketers is all about going upstream. Because the problem with this, and let me show you this, right? If you get 1,000 opt ins, right, 1,000, and 1,000 people start to get your emails. Well, the problem with this is that those 1,000 people are simply opting in for the lead magnet, right? So whether that's a free PDF, whether that's a bunch of AI prompts, whether it's some templates, whether it's 50 high converting subject lines, whatever the lead magnet is, they are simply opting in for the lead magnet. They are not opting in for you. And that's a big difference, all right? Because when they opt in for the lead magnet, then they don't really care about the rest of the emails that you send them. Of course, some people are going to read them, some people are going to buy from them, but that is the minority, right? If you're not training them to value you and the content that you share, then they're never going to stick around long term. And that's why you then have to constantly rely on more volume, right? If your ad account was to get switched off for a few days, then you're making zero sales because you're barely making any sales from your emails. Or if LinkedIn closes down your account, then all of a sudden you have no more traffic and you're not generating any more sales. That is a massive problem. And that all stems from your email list simply opting in because they wanted the value, not because they wanted to hear from you. So here's what happens: they opt in, they get your thank you page, and they most likely open email one because that's where you give them the value, right? That's where they get access to the download, to the templates, to the AI prompts, to the PDF, whatever it is that you've offered to them. And now, slowly but surely, over the next few emails, the open rates, the click rates, everything starts to dwindle. And that's because they don't care about you, right? They only opted in for the value. And because of that, you then have to work really hard inside your emails to get their attention, which is why you then have to start using crazy subject lines and using really optimized body copy and all this crazy stuff. Whereas if you go upstream and fix the problem at the root, you can write emails that you're happy with, that you're not having to force out because you're like, oh, I need to write this really good subject line. No, If people value you and they care about the value that they provide, they are going to open your emails and read your emails no matter what. Now, this is not an excuse to write shitty subject lines and to write shitty copy, right? That's not an excuse to do that. But the point is, we don't want to rely on that to get people to open in the first place. We need people to value who we are and what we have to offer before any of that, right? And if you're running a funnel like this, and if you're running emails like this, that's what's always going to happen. You're going to be playing catch up. So let me show you a much better system, and I call this Emailtopia. Now, this looks a little bit complicated. There's a lot of stuff here, but if you want to actually dive into how to create this for yourself, click the link underneath this video and I cover all of it, all right? So the first thing we want to do, instead of just giving them a lead magnet that allows them to opt in, to download it, and that's it, what we do is we create an immersion series. And this immersion series right here is the lead magnet. All right. So when somebody opts in, they are opting in for a series of emails. Now, this is important because this is what trains them to open your emails, to click your emails, and to buy from your emails. Right? Because when we train them to do this, to actually read what we have to offer, to click what we're sharing, then over time, they will continue to open, they will continue to read, they will continue to click. And this is so different compared to how most people run a lead magnet funnel. When you do it like this, they are opting into your email list because they want to receive your emails. That's a massive difference. With most people, when they do a lead magnet, people simply just opt in because they want the free value. And then they ghost the email list and never read another email. But when we do it this way, we are training our audience to value our emails. And that then allows us to run automated promotions that promote our products, right? We get to send newsletters that we actually enjoy sending, right? We have so much more fun. And that's what that's all about, okay? And that's the value here. And then we get to do things like rabbit hole sequences and monthly promotions. Essentially, this is how you build a full email marketing ecosystem. And it's designed to train your audience to open, read, and click. But it's also designed to keep your audience engaged long term, right? Because if you want to maximize sales, you have to keep people engaged long term. And that's what it's all about. So if you're interested in this, click the link underneath this video and you can get all the information on how to actually build this for yourself. But this is why it's so important. If you're just building funnels based on the idea that, oh, I can generate as many opt-ins as I want and some people are going to buy, well, yeah, that's true, but that's not optimized for maximizing sales because you may make a few sales here and there, but what about the rest of the audience who may have purchased from you in the future, but now they're not paying attention to you because all you've done is bombard them with sales emails and content they're not interested in, all right? So if you have any questions, leave a comment underneath this video. But as I've already said, if you want to actually learn about this and understand how to build this for yourself, click the link underneath this video and that will give you all of the information, all right? So that's it for this video and I will see you in the next one.